What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, back again with some Orlando Magic daily content. I've been getting a lot of support for this, and I really appreciate that, and I'm going to keep doing it as much as I possibly can. Today, we're going to be looking at rookie Franz Wagner. Obviously, the big story of the offseason was Jalen Suggs. Wasn't supposed to be there. They got him, and then now they needed that forward position. They needed to fill that need because they thought it was going to be Scotty Barnes. So Franz Wagner was not on a lot of people's radars. Everyone thought Moses Moody. And then, coming into it, after they had picked him, everyone was kind of unsure because no one had paid too much attention to him. He was obviously a name floated around. He was going to be taken inside the top 10, but he did go to Orlando. And there's some things that I have just been really impressed with. I think he has been one of the best rookies this year, bar none in the NBA. I'm going to show you some of my favorite highlights. I think these are from like 3 separate games. And you'll see kind of the things that he's doing and some of the things I think he should be doing more for the team. So we'll check out this first replay against Minnesota here. This one is going to be very simple, but has very big implications. Let's take a look. All right, Cole Anthony brings the ball up and finds off the drive none other than Franz Wagner, who knocks it down. So again, nothing too crazy to start out here, but that is a very powerful thing for the Magic. I talked about in one of my previous articles that there's going to be a lot of struggles from the starting lineup, and they need guys to step up like Jalen Suggs, and I didn't expect it from Franz Wagner because he was about a 32% hit from outside in college at Michigan, and now he's shooting 39% as of right now, which is huge for a multitude of reasons, and I'll show you why in this next example. So we're going to kick it here to the Pistons game. Obviously Cole Anthony again, they seem to have some very good action here between the two of them, but take a look at what he does and the threat now that people know that he can shoot 3-pointers. So he's going to go dribble to the right. We're going to get some passing here. I believe that's his brother. He's going to drive in right there. Boom. So they had to run to the 3-point line, and that was certainly not something I thought I'd see from him all season long. A, shooting the 3-ball this well, and B, being able to kick out of the 3-point line and get even a better shot. He actually could have shot that corner 3, but he knew the guy was off balance running towards him like that, and he was able to make some really nice moves. So we're going to keep going with that idea of those inside moves, and just look at how developed he is close to the basket. We're going to check back in that Minnesota game and take a look at what he does individually as a scorer here. He's able to look at that footwork. He's able to turn around, get a nice basket. This is not something I thought we would be seeing from Franz Wagner this season. I thought he'd be more of a defensive anchor and focused on that, maybe passing the ball a little bit, but his ability to take the ball by himself is going to be the difference in Orlando for the next 10 years or 5 years, however long you want to take a look out from it, because we know Cole Anthony can score as an individual. We know Jalen Suggs can do that, but if all the attention is on them and they pass it out to Franz Wagner, who isn't able to do anything with the ball by himself, well, then you got a real problem, and nothing's really going to work out at that point. But, you just saw right there, this guy's able to take the ball himself and do some really cool stuff around the basket. Not something I thought he had developed very much so far in his career, but clearly he's been working very hard, which is a great sign for Orlando. Taking it back to the Pistons game here, and we're going to see a fast break with Franz Wagner, and this is going to be one of the biggest keys of his career, of Orlando Magic, if any of this is going to work, because the best players on the Magic are best when they are in open space and able to attack the defense before they can get settled. Jalen Suggs, we know, is elite on the fast break, and so is Cole Anthony and RJ Hampton when Cole Anthony and RJ are playing together. So take a look here, and let's look at what Franz is able to accomplish here. Terrence Ross pushes it straight up. And this is, if you guys watched one of my original videos with Cole Anthony and RJ Hampton, they were able to do that so effectively. If they have a third guy who can do it, and really it looked almost exactly like that. There was a play that I went over where Cole Anthony had an outlet to RJ Hampton, who finished the ball. Then you're talking about something extremely dynamic. I've mentioned this in previous videos before too. It's not that there's one style of basketball that is the best, where it's either 3-point shooting or mid-range, although I'm not a big fan of the mid-range shot, or if you're like attack the paint type of team like the Grizzlies were back when they were in the conference finals against the Spurs. It's about maximizing the talent that you have. So when you have, this big lineup that they have right now, it's been a real big issue. They're not scoring a lot on the fast break, something around 7.7 points the last time I checked, which is not going to get it done. If they are able to get something like Wendell Carter, maybe put Mo Bamba off the bench, Franz Wagner is able to keep up, as you just saw there, which they need to get a lot more points. They should be at the top of the league when it comes to fast break points, considering how young they are and considering how good their players are in that specific situation. I had showed one example earlier of him, driving to the basket. He had the nice move on Karl Anthony Towns, but the defense was kind of, off balance, if you will. Like there was a very much the offense was in motion there. And now what you're going to see in this play is the ability to kind of use his dribble moves to get into the paint where we know he's actually pretty decent. This is absolutely like the long-term picture of what this team needs. Like they're able to pass up, pass to this guy at the power forward position, and he's able to be as athletic as he is because he really is very quick. He's going to be a little like small, like size-wise at the power forward position, but it looks like he can kind of make that happen. Take a look here at this play, and, he gets the ball. There's no screen. It's really just him. He's able to make some really nice dribble moves, use his strength against, some of the smaller power forwards in the league. Now, I haven't seen too much of him, do this too much this season, which is understandable. It's not really something that he did too much at Michigan from what I saw. But this, years 2 or 3, if he can do this consistently, then you're talking about Cole Anthony being able to do that, Jalen Suggs being able to do that. It's a very intense offense, and if they are able to get, the defense off balance even better. But, the forward position kind of does need to be able to score for themselves, and he's just so much farther along on that process than I think anybody had thought he would be. Last but not least, of course, we will talk about the biggest highlight from his season so far. I usually don't like to go over the big dunks, but because I don't think it's indicative technically of their skill set. But when you're able to dunk like that, as you guys just saw, well, now we're talking about this guy with really big hops. And, that kind of athleticism is going to go a long way defensively. I haven't shown any defensive highlights, and I'm not going to. This was literally the last highlight because we know how solid he's been. That's something that's just going to take time. He's able to poke the ball out. He has very good instincts when it comes to that. So that's why they drafted him, right? They knew he was going to be good at defense, and that was kind of the whole point of it. But when you see him, do some things like this, wow. That means you can do a lot more. And that kind of goes more to the fast break stuff, too. Because you didn't know if you'd be able to keep up with these guys. But clearly, as we can see here and at some of the other highlights, not an issue for him, which, this team wants to find success. And for the most part, as the way the team is set up now, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, and Franz Wagner are going to be in the starting lineup, and they want those guys to be in the starting lineup for a playoff team, meaning there's only 2 more spots, and Jonathan Isaac's probably taking that one. So you need to be able to get championship-level play out of those 4 individuals, and maybe Wendell Carter. They're good right now. They're good young pieces, but obviously they need to elevate their game to a certain amount if it's going to be Wendell Carter, Franz Wagner, Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, and Cole Anthony. That sounds good, right? That sounds good on paper, and it is good on paper, but it's championship or bust in the NBA in the long term. And I'm not saying, they have to be able to develop in the next 2 years or it's over, but I'm just trying to highlight some of the things that I think, he's done this season, specifically for Franz Wagner, and how, what it will take for him in the future to develop enough to get this team to a point of contention, which it's starting to look that way. It hasn't been great record-wise, but of course none of that matters. It's all about development right now, and we'll see when Jonathan Isaac comes back to see what this team exactly can do. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and also be sure to check out my articles on Orlando Magic Daily. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.